Hello friends. So today I want to talk to you about Rose Campion, which is a beautiful biennial flower that you probably have seen in a lot of gardens. It's bright pink, lots of flowers, profuse flowers, and in the first year it has very soft white, grayish green, fuzzy leaves that look a lot like lamb's ear. So in the first year you get the flush of leaves. In the first season it's super beautiful, soft to the touch, and in the second season it just makes this big abundance of stems and flowers, very small, bright, kind of like neon fuchsia pink for the most part for mine, and they are very good at self-seeding. But if you don't know where they are, you might be mowing them over and not even realizing it. So I'm going to show you how I collect my seeds, and it's super low budget. So I get a paper plate, and make sure you write down what you're growing. So it's Rose Campion, and I just wrote down where I got it, my garden, and then the month and year. And I say month, not just the month and date, because not all of the seed capsules are going to be ready at the same time. So as they mature and I collect the seeds, I put them on the plate, and I'm going to continue to add to them as new flowers age and go through the life cycle, and I'll just keep adding to it. So I might use the same plate for like a month as I'm gathering the seeds, and I have to just put it in a safe place, which I like to use, you know, those teacher stackable files. It has like 5 slots. Put it into one of those slots, and you know, off in your home, let it dry, air dry, and by the end of summer you put all your seeds into little packages and you can save them for next year. Or you can also go ahead and start some more. They are kind of perennial, they're a biennial, so they will grow. The leaves are very ornamental in the first year. They will survive winter in zone 8, and then they will bloom the second year. So let's go ahead and find some plants to go ahead and start collecting some seeds. Behind me is a plant that kind of just self-seeded where I wanted to go. You can see how these would have been soft and lovely the first year. Now they're kind of done, they've done their duty. I accidentally bumped this and I heard like a scattering of seeds, but most of these seed heads are still green, so I'm going to give them a little bit longer. So at first glance you might think, oh, this doesn't look so great, but this is a mature Rose Campion plant. You can see the flowers here. And that's what they should look like. So you can see that they're all in different stages of development. I've got some that are like dry looking here, and some that are green, and some that are still flowering. So some people might yank the whole plant and just shake it upside down. I definitely do not want to do that, because the pollinators love this plant and I don't want to waste life. So I'm going to take each of these, and some of them I bumped the plant earlier and I just heard like this like sound like really tiny falling rocks. So I've already lost some. So I turn upside down and I spin it. This one's already lost most of its seeds. So let's try another one. There we go. And I just spin it. So when I pull it off the stem, I make sure there's like a little couple centimeters here I can hold on to, like a little handle, and I just twirl them around. And whatever is left, I'm going to go ahead and toss back into the planter, and it will become soil. That one had a lot of seeds. Look at that. We'll just get, there's so many, and I'm probably going to lose some. but not as many as I would lose if I pulled the whole plant and I didn't let these green seed pods finish their job. Now, if I miss a few seeds inside the seed pod, there's still a chance it could grow when I'm throwing it back into the planter. That's how I get a lot of volunteers. And some of these don't have very many seeds left because they've already been bumped or jostled by the wind. It's kind of like poppy seeds. It reminds me of that. This one doesn't seem like it cracked, so I'm going to crack it with my fingers. And then that doesn't give me more chaff, but gets me a couple more of the seeds that I would have lost. It's like a little cup. See? And you see the stem here is dry. If it feels pliable and doesn't pop off that easily, then it's probably not mature yet. I was going to collect seeds last night, but then I watered and I didn't want to collect them when they were still wet. That one is not. Yeah, that one has some seeds in it, but I had to crush the outside because it didn't burst. So kind of like when it's really ready, it opens up. While we were over here collecting Rose Campion, I do see some Calendula. Ooh, that just wants to blow away. So now I've got some Calendula and Rose Campion. The Calendula are much bigger seeds, so it's easy to tell the difference between the two. Even though this Rose Campion plant is, going to seed, it still has lots of flowers that are just so pretty. But a couple weeks ago, this was covered in flowers and it was just gorgeous. So I love it. I love it when it's in the leafy stage as well. So I'm still collecting the seeds. And I want to show you guys that there's more than one right way to do this. So here's another way. I collected a bunch of the seed heads in this little blue cup. And, I did the whole little thing where I spin them like this. Okay. Then you put them in here. And as you're doing this, you're shaking the seeds to fall out of the seed heads. And the seeds are heavier or more dense than the rest of the material, so they sink to the bottom. If you put a rock on your plate, then it won't fly away with the wind. It is windy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the flower heads out. I would wait for it to be quiet in the background, you guys, but it would never be quiet in the background. I live by busy streets. So I'm going to take these flowers out, and as you can see, I'm already getting some seeds are falling out of them. Let's see. The rock is a lifesaver because if it gets windy, the whole plate will blow away along with all the seeds that you've collected, which I did before when I was gathering, I think it was turnip seeds when I was a very beginning gardener. I did that with turnip seeds. There are turnip seeds everywhere. I have them growing in the grass. And I've got some flowers in the bottom that are really mixed up with the seeds. And I did get some calendula seeds in here too. They're so different. You can really tell the difference between them and the Rose Campion. Okay. So in the bottom of the cup you can see all those seeds. I'm going to dump them out and then dump them back in again so I can separate them. so I can separate out the chaff and the calendula. While I'm doing that, I'm going to put the flowers back into here and get the seeds off the plate. So if I do this a little bit, some more seeds are being loosened. Now these are not completely dry, like they're dry, but you're going to let them continue to lose the seeds. So I'm going to put them in here. And this is if you want to get every last seed. If you're like, I'm a seed hoarder, I really want to get every last seed out of these plants. Because this is how you're going to really maximize how many seeds you get out. This makes sure that you get all the seeds possible. You might be thinking, why is she filming when it's like traffic, so much traffic out there? Well, you really never know on these streets. So, and it's not a high traffic time anyway. Now you can see there's lots of seeds on here that I'm going to add to what I have already. And I'm going to add those seeds that I got there. And then I can just keep doing this. And I'm going to let this continue to dry. Look, even more seeds again. So it depends on how much time you want to put into it and how many seeds you really need. This is probably enough. And if you don't want to bring this back into the house and babysit them, you can just put this around your planters like mulch, and maybe a few more seeds will fall out and you'll get some volunteers. So that's a good idea to do. You can also kind of shake them like this too. Okay, and if you're trying to move just one seed at a time, you can lick your finger. I know it sounds weird. And then it's easy to move them that way. So think fine motor. It's like trying to pick up a seed that's so tiny. Just dampen your finger, press it down, you got the seed. Okay, that's what I do when I get a little runaway. And I will be putting these back into the cup and then continue to let them dry, because there are probably a few that did not burst open. So when you look really close at the flowers, find a good one. When you look really close at the seed pods, there is a hole. And then when you turn upside down and twist it, the seeds come pouring out. But there might be one or two still lodged inside there. That's why I do this sometimes. If you have a big bowl, you can shake that up and down. I wanted to get these though, because every single time I bump that plant, as we get out of the car, it's really close to the driveway. Every time I bump that plant, it sounds like a rain stick, and all the seeds are just scattering down. And I'm losing them. And all the chaff I put back into the raised bed, because that will nourish the soil and all the living organisms that live in there, and it will make better soil. Especially since some of these seeds probably fell down and are going to reseed themselves. A lot of people consider plants that reseed themselves perennials, but they are not perennials if all they're doing is reseeding. Perennial literally means that it comes back every year. It's the same plant. So these are biennials. They flower the second year. So this was a 2-year-old plant. And after it's done flowering, it will be dead. But it has dropped so many seeds. Look at that. It's a lot more. Let's add that to our little collection. And I just keep going back and forth. Right? And then to let these completely dry, it's best to put them in a paper bag or lay them flat on a paper plate. And if you have them on a container or something, I like to put a rock so it doesn't just bump over so easy. Okay, look at all these seeds. And this is in addition to what I collected yesterday. So this is like take 2 of the video. So many seeds, and I'm going to let them continue to air dry. I hope you enjoyed collecting Rose Campion seeds with me. This is the easiest plant to grow, other than like marigolds and pot marigolds or calendula. Rose Campion is so simple. I hope you grow some too. And the neighbor's cat is visiting me. Hello, little kitty. Hello, kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, aren't you so cute? Oh, be safe.